It's going well. Simple, straightforward. It's definitely like a, you know, get it knocked out in under 43 minutes. With 0 errors. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Right here, 1970 Beetle. Yes, we're back on this one, and well, carbs came in. Hopefully, or they're dual 40s. If you watch the last video, you'll see why we're going with dual 40s. This thing has well, dual 34s on it. You know, 34. I feel it is not doing its job, especially on a 1915 engine. Don't know who built the car, so on and so forth. The owners don't have any information. Basically, I feel it's suffering from fuel delivery. Either fuel or it's an asthmatic running uphill and it can't breathe. One of the two. But anyway, ordered a set of dual 40s, so, you know, 40 millimeter hole versus 34 split by 2 on this one. Hopefully that solves the run and drivability issue on this car, just due to the fact that I can get it to run, I can get it to idle, I can get it to rev with these 34s. Problem being is once you get it on the road, it doesn't do anything. Spits, sputters, backfires. If you go wide open and give her the beans, well, guess what? She sort of gets up and moves, but unfortunately, yeah, it's basically like driving 48s. They're terrible for street driving. And not saying you're getting power, it's just basically breaking this engine. So with any, I don't know. Basically what I'm getting at is I'm hoping this fixes, you know, it's not a crapshoot, but it's usually what I'm used to as far as tuning goes on engines. So that's what we're going with. I'm hoping it's not something severely wrong with the engine, which it shouldn't be. It just feels like it's a fueling issue. I mean, we already fought the distributors. I think I went through 3 of them on this thing by the time I found one that actually works. Good news, I have number 4, which is a new one, which will be going into this one as well, because the one that's on here is a used one. But anyway, let's go to the back of the car, start ripping this thing apart and put on some dual carbs. All right, before we go all tearing into this thing and stripping all the work that I did, let's do a cold fire. Granted, this thing has not started since, well, I parked it here over a week ago. So let's see what it sounds like. Basically give the baseline of what this engine runs like or sounds like to hopefully what the new carbs will be improving. Because I hope there's an improvement. Fires right up. I mean, it's tuned the best. I think I said in the last video, it is tuned the best I can tune it for the setup that it is. But yeah, all right, cold start. Fires up, runs good. Now that I got the engine warm, let's start taking it apart. But yeah, like I said, the thing is, once it's under load, it falls on its face. It breaks down real bad. So with that said, I think the dual 40s are the way to go on this one. Like I said, yeah, we'll start stripping stuff, getting it out of the way, losing things like ignition wires. Put that there. Yeah, I'm basically bringing it back down to would I need to have a bare engine? Right now, like I said, these are dual MP with the IHICs, whatever's, IT, A, B, C, D, E, F, LMNO, P's on here. ITCs, 34 ITCs. That's what's currently on this engine. Just give me some time, I'd get to it. But yeah, they're, like I said, I think, in my experience, I've never tried to tune bigger than a 1776 on them. So I wouldn't even know where to, really where to start on jetting air, so on and so forth. Or, well, not air, you can't control air. It's only how much it can give. But the jetting side of it, I don't know how to play around enough to get the jets to work correctly, I guess is what I'm getting at. Can it be done? Probably. I mean, you can run a lawnmower engine on a, a Ford, 390 on a lawnmower carburetor. I'm not saying it's good for it or it works well, but with that said, it can be done. Drivability, I think you'd be sacrificing one of two things: drivability and reliability. You kind of want all the abilities. How are you forced in here? There we go. Typically, I say give carburetors back. Actually, about 99.9% of the time, I give carburetors back. But in this instance, because we are going to bigger, different carburetors, I will be keeping these. Also, keeping these on, because they are basically brand new, I am going to work with the owner on the price of the repair, due to the fact that these are worth money. And I also have an engine that can benefit by having these. If you remember, if you watch this channel long enough, you might remember the yellow Gia. The first one, the full restoration one we did. It originally left with my engine and dual 34s. And then promptly blew up. Spunamine, soft seized. It was amazing. Basically oiling issue. I don't know. It's, you see the engine behind you ever? If you watch this channel, and then it has the orange valve covers. Yeah, that's still the blown up engine. Other than pulling it and putting a new engine into the customer's car, it's been sitting there. So what I'm going to do is the right thing and not take it apart, because she gets hot, she drops all oil pressure and just soft seizes. There's a slight knock to it now. Why? It's spunamine is pretty much what I'm going on. So instead of doing, the absolutely right thing and rebuilding that engine, I'm going to put in a, heavy-duty oil pump. And, basically send it. I'm hoping I can boost the oil pressure enough, or keep enough oil pressure in there to keep the engine from not blowing up. It's science, it really is. But with that said, I probably don't have any screwdrivers, because I know where most of them are. They're in the back of my truck, because I did a site visit today. Air filter. But yeah, like I was saying, I'm going to put a bigger oil pump in that engine, and basically, I wonder if I could probably get away with using, because I put a crossover in here, didn't I? Or is this all plastic? Rubber. That's all rubber. I did not. I have to make a crossover for this. I put new lines on. New hose clamps. Talking out loud. But yeah, I'm going to try to basically suspend the in oil, and maybe it won't lose pressure. I did it off camera, but I did pull the pump because I thought possibly on the slim chance the what have you oil pump, there's the gear it's pressed on the slim chance the man, I can't even think or talk right now. On the slim chance I've seen those especially in factory engines with high mileage, the shaft, when it gets hot, the gear will spin. It basically freewheels. I heated that gear up with a torch, and well, unfortunately, it was hot, but also did not move. So, I'm just thinking it just gets hot, and that why are we stuck? Taking the carbs off is supposed to be the easy part. There we go. Don't drop that washer down there. Washer on that stud. Washer on that stud. And the other thing is I still got obviously the manifolds for that single port engine. I just need carburetors. And well, this one's kind of filling the need. I'm getting carburetors to get that engine running, and I ordered an oil pump, or I have an oil pump for that engine. Basically, what I'm going on with the other engine is, if it fixes it, I got a motor back for one of my pieces of garbage. If it doesn't fix it, well, probably going to rebuild it. Am I going to rebuild it? I don't know. I might send it to my engine guy and let him go through it, because at the end of the day, it's mine, and I don't make any money off of it. I did get questions on that yellow car when I did just go out and order a new engine or get an engine from my engine builder versus fixing that one. Reason I didn't do it is because I could spend X amount of dollars and have one basically hypothetically next day, or I can take, you know, a few days or a week or what have you to rebuild it myself. Can I rebuild them? Yeah, 100%. The reason I don't do it is I value my time and money, especially because it was a warranty job, especially that engine, because I warrantied it out. I'd be losing, okay. I would be losing even more money by repairing it myself than to just take the hit and get another engine. The old saying, time is money is very, very true, especially if you work for yourself. You got to know what places to cut your losses in, or losses at, I guess is what I'm getting at. Not a fan of the full rubber. It'll get changed out to something more fancy. What were those, 11s? Anyway, let's try it again. Replace the lower intake on this side because it did have a leak to it. Ended up fixing some of the issue, but obviously not all of the issues. Because like I said, those 34s on a 19, too small. And again, I keep going back to it. I mean, it is not in my wheelhouse as far as running that size of carburetor on an engine this big. 1776 usually is where I will cut it. And even then, typically they get a bigger engine, or not a bigger engine, at least a 40 on a 1776. 2 single 40s. It's always weird to say dual carbs and then mean single barrel or 4 barrel. It's at least talking to customers. I don't know. I always feel like a weirdo because like I have dual carbs. Well, do you have dual single barrels or dual barrels? What's the difference? Well, you basically have one carburetor with 2 holes on one side, and then one carburetor, or one carburetor with 1 holes. I've had that conversation more times than I can probably count at this point. Because when I hear dual carbs, I don't know anymore. Oh, the washer's also broken. Nice. Yeah, there's half of it. Good thing is we do not need it. There's the other half. It's like stuck under the threads. Think. Those on there. Intake. Gasket, are you going to cooperate and not break? This one will get trashed because it's used. This one's used. The other used one is new. All right. Big thing, these big guys, are they going to fit on without really any gripe or modification? The answer most likely is going to be no. Oh yeah, we're all into the fan shroud. As to be expected. All right, I'm going to have to massage that fan shroud back where these spark plugs go. Get a little more clearance so I can get that big honking unit. Look at this big base has to be able to, get in there. Currently it's just hitting the tin right about where the spark plugs are. Or I mean, that is exactly where it's hitting. So I just gotta get in there and lovingly move it back. It's not off by much, but I also don't want to. I like the manifolds just to be able to slide in and out versus hitting. Yeah, I'll bring in and show you what I'm talking about. I don't know how well you can see, but they just hit. You can force them on, but they're hitting the. Let's see if I drop you down some. They're hitting where the spark plugs go, or between the spark plugs. That thing. Just gotta massage it back that way some. And yeah, but then hopefully she'll drop right in. At least that's the plan. I don't want to go any further than that as far as taking this whole damn thing apart to get those shrouds out, to cut the shrouds so I can get clearance that way. I hate doing that. I have done it. I think I've done it on my engine. Usually you can just bend these things back. These, good thing are, these are aftermarket tins. And I hear vibration. That one sounds solider. So I'm hoping I can get a little massage out of there. But let me do some massaging, just basically, I don't recommend it, but pry bar or anything you can get in there just to move that tin back. Like I said, you can force them on. The natural action of force will basically round it over. Don't recommend it. Dire situations, I have done it, and this is when, basically, it's hard to even explain dire situations, but in a dire situation, I have done it. Granted, it was a temporary fix to a permanent solution. I think I still have that engine actually. It blew up. It blew up for other reasons. All right, intakes. They're clearance to where they will just drop on now. Boink. Plenty of wiggle room. They sit wiggle room and they sit flat. Same thing with driver's side. Wiggle room and sit flush. So no air leak. Way I do them is, well, if you cut the spark plug hole, you'll be able to massage it back some. So, the little ring around the back, just cut that and then you can pry it. I don't like showing how I do it, just due to the fact that if you guys do it and screw something up because you thought that's how I did it, or you tried to imitate me, I mean, I get it's the best form of flattery, but I don't want to be held liable of saying that is exactly how you were instructed to do it, because, well, just because it works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you, I guess is what I'm getting at. Also, the other thing I'm annoyed with is the wiring harness. I know, I'm getting sidetracked on everything. I already dropped through the fuel line through the car. I don't really even need the distributor on at this point, but I mean, for prosperity, we'll keep it. Put a grommet in and just hold it there. Trying to get access. The more room you can clear up for this stuff, the better you are. What is that? That's your oil cooler seal. That's fine. I'm surprised it even has one on there. All right. Anywho, carbs, these things, what we were doing. New gaskets. Throw that one on. Throw that one on. Manifolds. Like I said, the biggest thing you guys can do to help yourselves is test fit, test fit, test fit. Also, if you had to change spark plugs, do it now. Because once these go on, you're going to be hating life. All right, actually, before I do that and end up dropping something down the throat, I'm going to set these up. Or try to. Two washers. You didn't spare on the Cosmoline on these things. All right, studs. Are you threaded differently? Well, we're not off to a good start now, are we? Wow, that is severely tight. We are already off to a great start. right, that's threaded that way. That's threaded fine. All right, do I have to run a tap down all those holes? All right. Do not, I mean, do it if you have to, but do not run a drill. The reason I say that is you can gack up these threads pretty freaking easily. Did that help? Oh, like butter. So let me get these things set up. M8 125, if you're wondering what the thread pitch is. But yeah, let me get these guys all set up now, and then I'm sure I'm going to have to do it on the other manifold. Then we'll get them thrown in. All right, manifolds. Retapped setup. This is what I was saying. Make sure you test fit, because I would have been really mad if I bolted those things down and, well, then I had to thread them or pull them to thread them. All right. Hardware. One. Boop. Come here. This back one's going to be fun. They always are. There's really no good way to get on them either. Just kind of have to. Oh, I think I got it. Did I? Might have. I think that is possibly on enough for me to screw up. If I go down some, I can see it better? I don't know. Let's try that. Whoop. For some reason, early models seem to have a little bit more room to finagle under here. Well, what's on it? Reverse light wires or tail light wire, whatever, plate wires. Quit it. Am I even on it? I don't know. Regular Helen Keller over here. We are making progress. Oh yeah, we're tight. All right, that took forever. As I raise the car back up. Yeah, what I was fighting, what have you. This angle. Good news on the driver's side, it's more of a vertical shot. And you can see this. On the passenger side, well, trying to get in there's a pain in the butt. So yeah, that's basically what I was fighting on this side. driver's side, I'm gonna, you know, screw myself right now and say it's much easier. How are we on? I gotta do a memory card swap soon. Normal 10. Manifolds in. Next thing to do is, well, carburetors. If you watch most likely the last episode, you know those carbs. These are kit. This is a kit that you get from CIP1. Same carburetors. Same carburetors you get from them are probably the exact same carburetors I get from where I get mine from. Except they're nice enough to put a kit together. Intake manifolds. So you could have less stress, more fun. What was that? That was half of a wrench. All right. Carb. Where's that bottom foam? Oh. There we go. Carburetor. Whew. I'm gonna set these up real quick. I want to see what we have in these. I think they say they ship them with 115s and on the mains and 60s in the idle. Nope, that's a 50 as well. All right, so at least these are matching. Not what they said they were shipping, which is, like I said, fine because I wasn't going to run. Yeah, be smart. Use dirty components, which is fine because I wasn't going to run what they said were being supplied anyway. Like I said, I read if you read the website, they say they get shipped with 60s in their idle circuit, and that's, to me, a huge number for an idle circuit if you're supplying 15 mains. 130s with the 60, I kind of see it. But a 15 main, pretty big. All right, this is going to be this side. Passenger side is what this is going to be. So, all right, let me get this thing set up, which isn't hard. Get rid of, I'm going to put it in my velocity stack pile because, you know, I have one of them growing currently. But yeah, get velocity stacks come off. They ship you a plate or whatever. Washers. I don't know about you, but I like the individuals better than the big ass pads. I'm gonna run the individuals. I'll save these. I might be able to use them. You also cut them, make them too. If I have someone that needs them, I'll use them. But yeah, I'm never a fan of the big ones. They're what I just put on that gets applied with the carbs. I guess is what I'm getting at. All right, I'm just rejetting this real quick. I can't. So I, number one, don't forget. Well, idle jets. They pull them out. Pull your jet out and just put them in. That's pretty much it. But that wasn't why I started this diatribe. It's because I think I said I was running 130s and running 135s. There are a bunch of I don't know, things on the interweb. MP has a decent chart, so on and so forth, to what your jetting recommended jetting is. use those and go from there. In other words, I can't tell you what your jetting is or what will work properly for your vehicle. But I do know the jet chart that they have online. I'm pretty sure it's for their, what, HPMXs or whatever the hell they are. We'll get you in the ballpark. It'll get you in the ballpark to the point where your vehicle will run. It might not run to proper specs, but also you're not going to blow up your engine. Worst case scenario is you're going to run rich. All right, guys, next day. Carbs are set up, they're rejetted. Linkage, I'm not a fan of this kit. Got it from CIP1. It's whatever supplied hex bar linkage they have. Not really a fan of it. It's I don't know. It's a pain in the butt to get it to, I guess. I'm either using it wrong and hopefully you're going to get the proper results, or I'm using it correctly and it's just a pain in the butt. But anyway, it's annoying is what I'm getting at. I had to modify this because I wanted the adjusters on this side, and the cam plates that they give you suck. So yeah, I had to do a little fabric cobbling, for lack of better terms. And I look at that, I got that spring wrong. I mean, it'll work. It's just bending the bracket backwards. Do I leave it? I probably am going to leave it. Snug. Yeah. That's good. I have all these set half. Nope, I don't. Mixture screws are set. Idle I have to set. Half turn in. Touch your adjuster and just give it a half a turn. Whoop. And there, that should be set. What else? Just go there for now. This one, make sure, check if I set it. I think I set one of them. It was this one. Touch. Half. All right. Those are set. Now looking at the these going in here, number one, this car does have standoffs. I'm not sure if these carbs will clear if you have a normal deck lid. I think they do, but you need the low pro air filters. These have the tall stacks. I mean, there's no clearance issue. But with that said, I might have to pull this hat off again so I can get to those back bolts, because they are inconveniently annoying. See what we got going on first. Well, I mean, I know my wobble will get in, or a wobble will get in. I'm at my 1/2-inch drive, or my 3/8 drive one. Because I really don't like putting excessive torque on my 1/4 drive. Not really designed for it. All right. Rear corners are snugged. Everything else should be mildly easy. My hydraulics are on the other side. How long have I been doing this? I know, call me weird. Actually, this makes life a little easier. This wire annoys me just the way that that's ran. Yeah, just get them snug. You don't have to go crazy with tightening on these things. Poorly tuned Mopar outside, it sounds like. Where's my bendy? Tight. I started here, right? Tight. Dun dunk. Now, what I was saying earlier, about throwing a fuel line on, I already went through and bent a bunch of it, and mildly test fit it. So let me get this thing installed, because we're in the mild home stretch of getting this stuff going. It's gonna clash, but I'm fine with it. Actually, not. Anyway, well, not on the fine with, more on the clash spot part. Anyway, heat wrap. Say this in my videos, it's for electrical. Where are my cutters? I had them because I used them. I also lost them because it's me. Shoot, there they are. Yeah, I have black on order. I've actually thought I had black on order for a while now. Come to find out, I do not. I need things. Hose clamps. Hose clamp there. All right. This guy, like I said, this is going to feed from left side to right side. I just did it on the Type 3. If I can get away with not running, especially these duals, you're able to, like I said, cross feed. You don't need, I can shorten that some. You don't need that big rubber T thing. Oh, shorten that. Or, you know, all that, not big rubber T thing, all that fuel line. You don't need all that rubber fuel line is what I'm getting at, you know, to feed these things. You can just tee them off or run them out the backside. Buy a, I can shorten this just a bit. Where's my cutter? Basically buy another barb. I think they're like 12 bucks. So if you're only buying one, you're going to be spending probably about 20 bucks with shipping or something like that. Because all you need is one barb. You take out the block out plate, plug, because when you do it, you have to move one of those nipples to the back, you know, from whatever side it's in to the other side so you can feed from the back. But, or unless you just don't do that, and weirdly, because I've had cars in there where weirdly one fills from the front, one fills from the back side because they don't move them. And that's just weird to me. But yeah, if you, the same nipple, barb, inlet pipe, what have you, that you use to, that you move, you just take the plug out and you just put another barb in. And I think I've said this in most of my videos, I like to run the hard line across the back instead of the rubber, just because, I mean, to me it just seems safer. It's not going to get sucked into the fan. I just spent 73 hours off camera bending these things, and I don't know what the hell I just did with them. What the? I know I had them. I know I put them down. They're right in front of my face. But yeah, the other thing is this. It's steel. It's just brake line, 1/4-inch brake line. It's nothing fancy that I'm using. But the thing is less apt to, say, crack or chafe on your fan if you have it in a weird spot. If you have too, because I've also seen it where people will just leave it long and end up rubbing or pinching like the engine area. And then that is also not good. All right, that. I need another rubber stub. That's why my shears were over there, because I've been cutting off little things. That's good, that's good. Zip that one down. Really should have went the other way with this clamp, but whatever. Uniformity. That's on. Good, good, good. Now the out. Haven't moved it. Ding, ding. If for some reason black shows up before this car leaves, well, I might replace some of this. At least this line and the other one. All right, let's try this again. Now that I don't have a phone call. Oh, rotate. All right. Fuel line coming in. It's not rubber anymore. Also, that rubber line was chafing on the hole that it comes through because it was size for size. So, into the fuel pump out, fuel pump, wheel, all the way up into there. It'll lay flatter. I just need room for when I start this thing to reach my man mitts under here. Crossover, whoop, to this carburetor. Pretty simple. It only takes about, 3 hours to, bend everything correctly. There isn't a jig is what I'm getting at. So, fuel lines are good. What else do we got? Put the linkage on, put the linkage bar on. I really should have attached these spark plug wires before I put these intakes on. Because I think we're going to be in trouble. Crap. Front ones are easy. I mean, they're right in front. Those back ones, I haven't said to myself, Self, you should put those plug wires on before you put, put the plug wires on before you put the carburetors on. Because I had a feeling I was going to be in this scenario. Silly me. Not listening to me. And I'm back with the struggle bus. What I was planning on doing was, I do have new spark plug wires. I was going to just put the German style connectors in, except, the brain didn't completely brain, because these have the ends on them. That means I would have to take all these spark plugs out. Are you on? I never know if they seat. I think it's on. There's not like a every time I get these plugs, I don't have the positive, click, click when they go on. I'm pretty sure that's on. Like that. That was a positive. The back one, not so much. A lot of times these plugs also stretch out a bit. like the connector ends. So you'll get a false engagement. All right, those two are on. Whew. 1, 4, 3. 3 is going to be the next fun one because I have even less room. Ah, that's on. All right. Oh, freaking hand out of there. Flip you back on. On. Number 4. Now we got to put the freaking coil back. Number 4. On. Good. It's all now expertly ran. Coil, you get to go back on. Again. Boop. Where else are we? What am I even doing anymore? Linkage. Yeah, linkage. All right. Let's see that. Oh, you are tight. That one thing I don't like about these, the fixed hex versus like the MP kits, like the 40s, where you have like infinite range. If you screw up your indexing on the MPs, you can just loosen the bolt and you know, put it to where you need it. Hell was that? Come on, get out of there. And I'm just doing this for mock-up right now. I just want to see where my orientation is going to be. Because like the MP kits, these also do have springs that go inside here to, you know, keep the left and right motion. I'm going to say there would be a flat. So yeah, we'll mark the one I'm looking at. And that's where the grub screw to index it is going to be. And I hope I'm right, because this one, like I said, I don't have infinite adjustments, so hopefully all these cam plates and everything that are supplied are correct. Out. Slide this in. Gently place that on the floor. All right, now this doesn't want to slide in. Hammer. Some rubber mallet taps, hopefully we'll just get it to go in. Great. All right, unstuck. It's not the grub screw. All right. I don't know if you'll be able to pick up in there, but there's a ridge. So the bar can't push past that. Let me try to clean that up so that I can get it to slide. Because I like this to slide easily. due to the fact that if I do have to adjust it left or right, or if I get my indexing wrong and I have to pull it off, well, I would like it to be removable. So let me get this working and then I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. After, pain in the butt trips and getting stuff done for the most part, that makes no sense. I went to the store to get supplies, if you will. But now that actually goes on and slides. Yeah, there was a bad, pretty bad casting mark in it. So that's what I was fighting. All right, let's hopefully get this set up for the last time. I gotta put the springs in. Tight. Like I said, I still gotta lock the linkage together, but as it sits, I can adjust this side, I can adjust that side, and I can have throttle control with that. Other rod, we'll just throw it on. Keep them uniformed, right? Yeah, what do I have on the bottom? I have a left hand on the bottom, so yeah. Keep them uniformed. So, just a little snug. I think I said this is a used one I had. If it was for testing purposes, so if it did work, it would never leave with it. So we'll pull this guy out, throw it on the shelf, grab a new one. Like I said, this one's from one of the vendors I always use. And before I go absolutely nuts with it, rewiring the leads and stuff, just because this car seems to be cursed with distributors, I want to make sure that this thing starts, idles, and runs. It's like the drive is hanging, camming, what have you. Yeah, I'm just gonna run jumper wires on this thing. So I know that this is good, or until I know this distributor is good, because I do not want to, like I did the last time, wire this, and that should be about orientation to get it to fire. I don't want to go through the trouble of wiring this thing up and then realizing it's bad. Again, the electronics in it are good, or should be good. I thought I was using a yellow one. Did it fall? Did it run away? Hello. There it is. It was yellow. And yellow for black. So that'd be negative. Like I said, after it runs and does what it should do, I'll go through and, what are you? You're a mailman. I thought I had another one of these. I don't. For oil pressure. Put a gator clip on it and just it's too short right now. I got to lengthen the oil pressure. I know it has oil pressure, so I'm not really concerned about it. All right, last thing. Get rid of this cap. Last thing, let me get this thing in the air, connect the fuel line underneath, and we should be ready to fire this up. Connect that. I might make this guy shorter. It's not excessively long, it's just long. There. That makes me feel better. It's not like all floppy. I might shorten this wire. But yeah, let me get in the air, connect the fuel in, and, you know, spill gas all over myself, and then hopefully turn the key a couple thousand times and get this thing to fire. All right, guys, let's change out the battery. Hold on. And I'm back. I practically did, you know, call someone on the phone and tell them to hold on. Rude of me. Anywho, timing light hooked up. Got my, you know, squirrel or snail, and got a screwdriver. Rest of it's going to be manually things. So let's crank the key. Actually, let me crank the key to build fuel pressure first, or get fuel in the bowls. So this way I'm not dragging the starter, or with this setup, this carb will light up first and then it'll go that way. This way I'm not stressing the engine, only running off of 2 unequally till fuel goes that way. So let's try to get some fuel in this thing. Shouldn't take that long. And we got fuel on that one. All right, turn on the ignition. Ignition on. Weird, no oil pressure light. Is it retaining it? Because I did connect it. Or my leads, up there it is. I guess it was just holding it. All right, test light. There's one. Kind of surprised. All right. We'll just start it by ear. It's gonna run like crap, but that's about where it needs to be. Or not. Four. 5. 5. Pretty close on the sink. Woo. All right, guys. Don't know where my volume kicked off because I was not having a good night last night. trying to get this thing to run right. It's tuned pretty okay as of right now. With that said, it still has a breakup, I'd say, right when it's dancing the transition port, so like 2600, and I can't tell if it's a lean or a rich condition as of this point. I do have more jets on order. I'm going to try to dial it out, change out the air correction jets. The funny thing about it is this is a bigger engine. Unfortunately, I don't know the specs on it other than it's a bigger engine. I'm running the exact same carburetors, the exact same jetting as I am the squareback. The squareback runs phenomenally, and that's a smaller engine by 100 cc's. So I don't know exactly how, without knowing the specs of this engine, it's really hard to actually dial it in. I usually take my shot on jets and not always win, obviously, but you know, fare pretty decently, lack of better terms. So what I think I'm gonna do is seeing how it's in the transition. And I mean, I'm running, what, a 55 idle, and if I get the idle dialed in to where I'm not like crying because I was last night, I might find the footage if it's still there. I mean, it was bad, that rich. What I'm going to do is down the mains, because maybe we're chasing something. So instead of 135, I think I'll run like a 130. See if that helps around there. Either that or I'll drop the. I'm trying not. I know a 55 on this engine should be perfect, or at least tunable. The problem, what I'm facing right now, is past idle. If I give her gas to that breakup, I can hold it and actively tune it out. So that's telling me it's rich or lean on the idle side when it's tuned correctly, and it's not getting enough fuel out of the main jets. So I might even bump up to a 145. Or I can down the air correction jet to like a 180 because I'm running at 200 right now. Basically, I'm trying not to change the idle jets because they're going to be a pain. If I could just change the mains, work with up here, the main jets and the air correction jets or whatever, what have you, I'll do that. But other than that, it starts fine and everything. I'm going to change the oil. Also, I'm going to adjust the valves, or check the valves for adjustment, because I just remembered on the Type 3 and that episode is supposed to air today, so if anyone, time of this recording, the Type 3, putting that engine together, should air. So before I get any comments, I did realize after editing it that they are chrome moly push rods, and I did adjust them to 6 instead of 0 lash. That sparked my interest on this one. I can't remember what's in here because I know I adjusted them to 6, but I wasn't paying attention if they were chrome moly or not. Chrome moly, if you don't know, you adjust them to 0 lash, you know, loose lash, if you will. Basically, you take all the slop out because everything's going to basically grow around and you'll get lash in there. Like I said, not 100% sure. I'm going to pop a valve cover, see what's actually in there. If they're aluminum, leaving them be because I know they're set, but if they are chrome moly, I'm going to adjust them to 0 lash. Like I said, I'm fighting. Okay, someone sounds like they're riding their weed whacker. So let me go through this. If I see anything, I'll let you know. But I want to at least do that and change the oil, check the valves, adjust them if needed, and put it on the ground and just scooter back and forth and see if. See what's going on under, I guess, a light load, because the 34s broke up immediately under a light load. So give me a minute. Let me do some things, you know, possibly make these valve covers leak, which would be great, and report back. All right, just quick chiming in. They are in fact chromoly, so I do have them adjusted wrong. 6 on a chromoly, not bad. It's just when they start to get hot, you start losing engine performance, and well, you tune these engines when they're hot. So if you're starting with a 6 gap and you're basically ending at 10, 12, 15, what have you, because everything you're losing the engine. So I'm hoping that's what I'm fighting, was trying to tune on a hot engine that was way out of adjustment at that point. So let me tune them in, see what happens. All right, guys, oil's topped off, so on and so forth. I have to clean a bit of crap up. And move the mango. And I'll do a couple just quick hits. Like I said, I know the engine's not exactly the way I want it. 4 pumps. We'll let it start. And also everything's still temporary in here. But yeah, brakes are definitely dragging, which, that's fine. It felt fine. Last drive-in was 3rd gear. Not even a lot of boot in her, and she pulled some. It is definitely running rich. That's for sure. I mean, it's a combination between the car's on fire and it's smoking out the tailpipe. I'm gonna mess with the jets. I have some, like I said, I have some on order. Hopefully they'll be in relatively soon. Gonna mess with the jetting just a bit. Maybe throw just a bigger air correction jet in it. Hopefully cheat it. I'm trying to cheat it. I'm trying not to put things in. But now also seeing how the doobly-doos, the valves are adjusted correctly. I'll go back and tune it, maybe get some of the fuel out of it. Because a 55 should be fine on this engine. Not even knowing the specs, it should be fine. What's a hard start sound like? Or mildly warm. It's not hot. Who are we kidding? She's not bad. Right there, quarter throttle, has that breakup. And like I said, right off, not 100% sure if it's going lean or going rich. I mean, you see it. Is it going too rich? Because quarter throttle is about where you're hitting your progressive holes, ports for your blade, throttle blade. Yeah, that. So am I going too rich? But then when I'm on it, like I said, we got 135s in there, it's fine. So it's that weird zone. And like I said, even with 55s, I can lean it out, but it doesn't get any better. It actually gets worse. So I'm gonna mess with stuff, is what I'm gonna get at. I'm gonna bump up the, I don't know, like I said, I got a bunch of jets coming. Pretty much between mains and air corrections to see what I can do. And I still have the stock 50s that came with the carb, if for some reason I do have to change those. But that's where I'm at right now. I'll report back when I have more news. Because I want this gone. Also, I want the smoke to get out of here. It'd help if I pointed the fan the other way. Yep, sure would. All right, guys, gonna try to make this a little short. I'm happy you don't get to see my sleepless nights. Anyway, can't get over why this thing's running rich. The Type 3 is still here, obviously. Well, not obvious, but obviously it's still back there. Couldn't figure out why both same jettings, bigger engine, smaller engine. This one runs like absolute garbage, and that one runs fine. I do have to put smaller idle jets in that one, but other than that, the mains are fine. The only thing I could think of is this thing just needs air. I'm pulling the carbs. Pulling the carbs for the fact that when I put my snail on it, I'm not drawing what I think I should be drawing, number one. I'm like 5, this thing would barely run. That's about where that car is, 5.5. This is up to 7 now, and what I think is going on, due to the fact that it's so freaking rich and I got a weird mid breakup, is, if you don't know the 40s, where are they? This side. I don't know if you'll be able to see in here. Flashlight. There are transition ports in these things. Can I zoom in? There's 4 holes. What I think is happening is I have the blade open too far to where it's starting to bleed in those transition ports to get air into the system. Trying to zoom out. So yeah, those holes, holy crap, that's bright. I think what I'm doing at idle is the blades are open just enough to get the air that it needs to idle, and that's why I can sort of tune in idle, but it's already feeding off basically the circuit, which it's causing an overly rich condition. I have tuned like that in the past to cheat not having a jet to get more fuel to a car. But unfortunately, this one, it won't idle. I can't turn the screws in enough to get it to idle, or if I turn them in enough to get it to idle, it pings and pops. It's too lean on the top end. I can't get the correct amount of fuel for idle to idle correctly with the air that it can ingest. So basically, long story short is I'm what the hell am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm gonna pull the carbs off. I might drop them down to a 50. I'm not sure yet on the idles, but I'm also gonna drill a hole in the throttle plate. Try to get a little air in there. But I'm only going to drill a hole if indeed I am past or starting to see transition ports. So let me get a carb off and I'll bring you in and show you what I got going on. But yeah, if I'm seeing a hole, I'm drilling the transition because it can't get enough air into the system. And the only way I can get air in is by opening the blade more, which is screwing up the tuning. So I'll be back. All right, passenger side carb loose. Just got to find the last nut. And, well, I guess the plan is I'm going to drill it if the transition ports are exposed, so I can shut them and tune properly off the circuit. Number one. Number two, if they're not exposed, I'm going to drop it to a 50 jet. That's my two options, because I just can't. It's either getting too much fuel at idle, and that's why I got to crank it up, because it can't adjust the air, but I should be able to close off that valve and I'm 55. Before I lose this gasket. All right, do we have exposed transitions? Obvious, well, not obvious, but I have not, where's the other gasket? I have not played with it. I disconnected it. What do we got? Just barely showing. All right, I don't think that's the issue. I was hoping to see a freaking hole. Where's my light? There it is. You probably won't even be able to see it in the camera. But, I mean, it is barely just peeking if it wants to focus in there. So, well, that wasn't the issue. Yeah, I got probably an eighth of a turn. Oh, these blades are bent. Just peaking, really big. Barely peaking. Yeah, I can see the hole on this one. And no hole on this one. All right, so we got bad throttle valves. Is it the back? That would kind of make sense, because I did have to loosen and adjust this jam nut, back it out to equalize these two barrels. All right, so do we put 50s in it and try it again? I still don't think it's getting enough air, though. Like, I really don't. I think I'm fighting an air issue more than a fuel issue. And that should be enough. I don't know, tough call. I was hoping to see something more blatant. Fortunately, I am not. Which sucks. Sucks big time. All right, let me ponder this. I'm gonna call up some of my buddies and see what they would do in this scenario, because I can go 50 jet right now, easy. The idles are just the biggest pain as far as the adjustments go, because you can't get to them when they're attached in the car. Yeah, I'm not sure. We can go 50 and try it. A 50 will also support this engine, it's not a big deal. But the problem is, if I go yeah, I'm not sure. Let me ponder. I'll get back to you. Trying to do my own mental gymnastics. All right, guys, attempt 947. Right now, I put 50 idles in the idle jets, for the idle jets. I also have a 220 air correction valve in this thing. Also, may or may not have massaged a throttle blade. Didn't want to show you that because, if you're messing with your carburetors and you dink one up. I don't want to be blamed for, oh, air cooled, showed me, hit it with a hammer here. So that's why I didn't show that. But we did not drill the plates yet. 50s are on. I did end up sinking them last night, and just for running aspect. No rev up or anything like that. Just basically fire up. I was fighting, and I don't know if it's in my other videos of this thing running, but I come to find out that I've been fighting a cylinder number 2 misfire. It's only been running on 3 cylinders. Turns out the NGK that I bought, it's more like a hit and miss plug. So let's see what happens. Let her warm up. Let her get some heat in her before I start, revving it out like a lunatic. Alright, I say she's happy-ish. Oh, this thing's so loud. All right, I'd say she's happy. I could probably, what do I got going on right now? I got 50s in the idle. I got 2 20s in the air correction jet and 135s in the main on this 1915. I might be able to drop the, if you see on the rev up, she's still black. I might be able to get away with dropping the mains down to 130, but I don't have it. I think the smallest jet I have is a 125. I gotta double check. If I have a 130, I'll drop a 130 in there. But as of right now, just you're bare. You're gonna burn. Well, your fuel economy goes crap, obviously, when you keep your foot in it. With that said, you're barely running the main jet, so basically wide open above what, $4,000 you're on the main, something like that. Up until then, you're on transitions and idles. So, all right, I guess I got a few odds and ends I have to take care of. I got to run the throttle cable still. Do I still have it? It's been too long. Are you in the box? Yes. All right. Got to throw a new throttle cable on because I don't trust cable savers on twins. Gotta still rewire that. And what else? Throttle cable, rewire that. Yeah, I think that's it. So let me get that done, and hopefully next scene we're gonna be on the road driving this thing with, I'm hoping, hardly any failure. I have more hopes now in it now than I did in the first test drive. If you're wondering how that one went, wasn't good. I think I made it about 2 blocks before I tucked tail and turned around because she was braking so bad. She was breaking up so bad on those 34s. So right now, I feel much more confident in this thing. This thing has been carburetors, man. Especially if you go on, say, the intrawebs and stuff like that, or if you're watching this video and you type in, what jet should I run in my 1915 with dual 40s? Everybody and their probably, you know, granddog is telling you what to run in your application. The problem being is there's a lot more things that go into consideration with jets. One, health of the engine. Two, compression ratio, huge. Cam, lifters, or not lifters, rockers, whatever. There's a bunch of things. Like I said, this thing running on 50s and 135s now, and 220s is running comparable. And I haven't even messed with the blue hatch yet, or the Type 3, with what I had in this thing. That thing has one, whatever. Let's see, wait, we got 135s, 220s, and 50s. That thing's 135s, 200s, and 55s. They're uncomparable. And that's an 1800 and that's a 1900. I can lean out the blue car a bit, but other than that, everything else is fine. Yeah, I'm not sure. What again, working on other people's cars, you never know what the hell's in them. So I basically have to blind jet of what they are. So I batch jet what I usually run with 1900s, 1900s, which is a jet pack I did, and then you go from there. I know that you can't run what factory is. I think the factory ships is, what are they? They're 115, 200s, and 50s. The only thing you, honestly, if you got a factory, when I say factory, it's what's shipped with. Really, the only thing you should be doing, to a certain extent, is possibly bumping up the main. The 50s are good usually across the board, depending on application, up to about a 1900. You might have to bump up to a 55 on the idle. The 200 correction jet should be fine, about 80% of your vehicles. Pretty much the only thing really is your main jet. Typically, you'd swap out. But with that said, let me crawl around, change out the throttle cable. I'll set you guys up, and we'll go out for a rip, and hopefully be able to get rid of this car, because it'd be nice. Both these things have been sitting here way too long. This one has to still go back on because the fuel system finally showed up for it. All the fun. I think I ordered the right cable. Yeah, it'll work. All right. Hopefully next scene I'll see you in the car, unless something, a development happens. And then I'll cue you in again. But I'm happy it fires up, it runs. Like I said, I did the syncing and whatnot last night. At idle, it sounds like it's correct. It's not pinging or popping or let go, or trying to rip itself apart. Basically, I'm confident that it's not going to go lean on me and destroy an engine. So I still need to get a air breather. All right, yeah, got a couple wires clean up, throttle cable, and yeah, hopefully next scene we'll be on the road. What a pain in the butt. Let's well, yeah, hopefully the angles are right enough. Anywho, let's give this thing a rip. Cold start. I'm bringing this time a screwdriver and a flathead, just in case. Oh, that's off. All right, let's see what this does. Cold start. All right, let's go. I really hate this clutch. Little better. All right, immediately. Thing is freaking amazing. We have made it further than 2 blocks. So that's a success. But no, all seriousness, this thing has some power. The second gear, no worries. No popping, no nothing. Third gear, low throttle. Minty. She's idling good, but yeah. If you watched the first video on this thing, I think I made it a total of 2 blocks, 4 blocks round trip, I guess. 2 on the way to the breakdown, 2 on the way back before I tuck tail. Right now, I've probably gotten 5, but in one direction. But she's idling nice. All right, we'll get the green. Let's see. What are you beeping for? You're acting like I control the light. There we go. All right. She's pretty peppy. Third gear, 40. Oh yeah. Third gear pull, full off throttle. A little bit of a decel pop, but that's fine. It's a decel. Woo! These brakes are sketch. A little bit of meandering. Ever so slight decel. Hold on. Smooth. Ever so slight decel pop in the exhaust, which is fine. Exhaust pops don't concern me at all. Oh yeah, she buggies. Yeah, decel pops don't worry me at all. Just means she's a little rich on the decel. She's popping in the exhaust, not a big deal. What would be a big deal is if it was popping out the carburetors. Then we'd be having a timing issue. Well, really, we'd just be having a timing issue. Man, this thing is fun. I don't trust the fuel gauge. I know I have gas in here. I mean, I put gas in here. But and something's weird with the brakes. They feel like they're sticking on in the rear. And I did go and adjust them because this thing's excessively a pain in the ass to push. Do I have a plate on this thing? I think I do. Third gear, floor it. Oh yeah. It's pretty instant on the throttle response, which I like. Now I'm not going to do my normal Mexico run. Yeah, these brakes are... They are darty. I don't like it. You push them, you start to go to the right, to the left, you know, one time, and then it compensates. It's almost like it's braking like it's poorly adjusted drums, except it's disc. So yeah, not a fan of that one. Good. Oh, what are you doing, bud? Oh, hey, microphone. Something's up with the front end. Like, big time. It's fit. Jeez. Stay. Yeah, something's up with the front end big time. It's really darty. I don't like it. Dude, blinkers work. Jesus. I'm actually gonna check it out. It's a little alarming to me. It feels like I'm losing a wheel. Hey, microphone, where'd you go? No. Both front wheel bearings are extremely loose. They're just flippity flopping. Yeah, both front wheel bearings are extremely loose. I can shake them and feel all the play. Not really ideal. So I'm limping her back. As much as I want to, rag on this thing more, I also don't want to lose a wheel. Fourth gear, just gonna let her putter. Only good news is we're in slight traffic, or traffic-y kind of time of day. So that's fine. Gonna lug the engine a little bit, and yeah, hopefully just nurse her home. Shop, you know what I mean. Not gonna do anything excessive. We're about a mile away by now, so far everything going good. She cruises nice. I've been in fourth gear for most of this drive. Oh, the brakes. We're gonna use a little handbrake action. Only good thing about having the discs is they're self-centering. The the wheels. They can only flop around so far. Also not stellar advice. Woo! Alright, we're almost at the shop. I'll key you in, but hopefully, knock on wood, it's something simple as those bearings. All right, this thing freaking rips. It's It's fun. I will say that the carbs are pretty spot on. I might be able to, I got 135 mains in there. I might drop it to a 130. I want the owners to actually get miles on this car because, like I said, since they've owned it and haven't even been able to drive it, I am going to tighten up that front end because it's sketchy as all get out. What is hot start? No gas. Will she just fire? These keys are annoying. Nope. I mean, good enough. All right, perfect. Let me join in big cam. There's a couple things I'm probably going to do. One of them, just lower the idle just a bit. She is a little high. You can probably hear it in the audio, but idle drop. I have a hot oil smell, and I know this engine has a leak. It doesn't want to be addressed at this current moment. I just want to make sure that's where the leak is, and it's not like a valve cover falling off. Oil light didn't come on, so we're nowhere good there. But with that said, let me join you guys on the big cam. So I'm not talking, to myself in a hot car now. But engine's good. That this car fought me, but I'm happy it's performing. It is performing. Definitely good. I wish I could have ragged on it more just due to the fact the front wheels. I might take it out again, depending. We might have a clip together shot of me driving this again. It's supposed to rain. This is my only last good day. So, all right, I'll be back. All right, guys, capping the episode of 1970 Beetle. As far as engine goes, check, good. Runs, drives, pulls. I was lugging it. I was dogging it. Trying to find a dead spot on the engine range. I think the jetting combination is correct. I do feel I am still rich on the main jet. I'm running a 135. I think I could drop her down safely to a 130. But with that said, there's no hesitation, no bog, no nothing, that weird quarter throttle. Misfiring cylinder, so that got taken care of. A combination between a misfiring cylinder and, I guess it was just one of the leaner idle jets. And I had to dick with the carburetor just to get that, to get everything to flow and fire right. But I digress and regress to this. The car is fixed. It runs, it drives. Customers' complaints are remedied. They can drive it. Bigger issue, front end. The bearings that are in the beam on the top, they're either completely gone or shot, or going to be. Because I did the front axles or the spindles, they were loose, so I did tighten them. But after I tightened them, I did the old wheel shake, and they're still playing there. So I guarantee I didn't take it out again because I know what was going to happen. I was concerned about the spindles and the wandering. After seeing the top beam where the upper control arms go into, still having some good bit of play in it. Like I said, the bearings in there are probably shot, or they're about to be. I already know that it would drive marginally better, but still be darty. So, I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. It's something, nothing I can fix currently. Is it a safety hazard? Gray area on that, just due to the fact that you will have a bit of a pull. But running and driving down the road, it's fine. It does now. With that said, it definitely needs to be addressed. I'm hoping the car comes back, but that's at the owner's discretion as far as they want it, if they want it fixed. Hopefully, and I'm sure they will. But you know what? Let them enjoy the car a bit. It's not going to kill you as of right now. Caveat there. Yeah, run that across the bottom of the screen. No warranties are expressed and implied on the front end. But anywho, the car, the engine, everything, it is a solid build. It does, like I said, I think I said in the beginning of the first video, whoever built the car got it to like that 90%, and then either ran out of skill or talent or motivation to finish it up. So it's just basically getting this thing over that last 10%. But with that said, the car is very, very close to being, perfect. Or as perfect as anyone can make it in their own objective opinion. So with that said, hopefully the car comes back on the channel and you'll see it again and we can address some of my other concerns. But anywho, I'm going to leave this one here. If you like this episode, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. If you do, I promise you we will chit chat. As always, thanks for watching and hopefully see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.